What's up, big ass niggas? It's J Miles, and now I'm back with another video. You know what to do. If you're new, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, leave a like, comment, let me know what you're thinking, but most importantly, make sure you share it with your glad friends. On today's video, we will be covering Power of 3, rating Kanan. And this one right here is titled, Will Krystal Survive? Basically on this particular video, I will be going over the possibilities of whether or not Krystal will survive, because as we know, currently she is in the belly of the beast, and the beast being referred to as Snaps and Pop. So I will be covering whether or not I think she will survive or live and more. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and get into it. Now, just like my other previous videos, I'm just going to share this episode 9 synopsis and just go to the part that's just very relevant to this particular video, which is reads Kanan suspicious of Rock's involvement, investigates Krystal's disappearance. So basically, Kanan's going to be investigating the disappearance of Krystal, because as we know, she was snatched up at the end of episode 9 by none other than these ugly-ass specimens here by the name of Officer, Pickett, and whatever the other lad name was. But anyways, also though, I want to point out in there, it also says that Jukes revisits her past, and that part is also going to be relevant to this particular video. But anyways, back to these ugly-ass cops. They ultimately, told Krystal that the detectives at the precinct wanted to have a conversation with Krystal regarding, Famous, and they basically forced her to come because she really didn't want to go. And of course, according to, we all knew once we saw this that this wasn't good for her, that they were about to do something to her. But of course, the episode 9 trailer further confirmed that, letting us know that they have her locked inside of what looks like to be a basement. And the craziest part is that her clothes she's like, without her clothes. I don't know exactly what these ugly ass niggas been doing to her, but she doesn't look well, and she actually looks like she's been there for quite a while here. So it's looking real bad for our girl Krystal. But the question is, could she possibly have a loophole? Is it possible she could escape? Now I'm going to go ahead and give us a couple of scenarios where she could escape. Now, in my opinion, the only way I could possibly see her escaping is if someone could potentially find her, right? Someone could potentially find her and ultimately get to her before the Snaps and Pop are ultimately able to give the order to the Atlanta police officers to finish her. Now, who could be that particular person? Now, the obvious person would be Kanan, but in my opinion, I don't think Kanan will be able to, pull this off. To me, it's going to take someone that mind and head isn't cloudy, and possibly have a motive to maybe actually want to find it, some kind of motivation. And that person is none other than your girl Jukebox, people. Now, I'm going to tell you how this could potentially go down, and it's the reason why I have all 3 of these people here in this particular photo. You have Garcia, Juke, and Aisha. Now, Aisha hasn't been on the show since, episode 2. But as you just seen here in the synopsis for episode 9, it's stating Jukebox revisits her past. So the past that they're referring to is Aisha. She's going to be going back to the past, and I think she could potentially be reminiscing about the girl group that she shared with Aisha and Krystal. Now, of course, she isn't too fond of Krystal. We already saw that. But we also know that Aisha is a very mellow, kind-hearted person. So I could see a scenario where Garcia comes up to her. Keep in mind, we did see a photo where it looks like Garcia is going to be showing showing Juice something. And I said then that I believe it's going to be a photo of Krystal. Now, I think a couple of people actually disagree with me, but I think I'm going to go double down on that he may show her a photo of Krystal because they all share the group together, right? So obviously they know each other. And I think what he's going to say is that Krystal has been missing for, whatever amount of days. When's the last time you seen her? And of course, with Jukebox having this mentality that, you don't talk to the cops, she's gonna at first initially tell him, I'm not trying to talk to you, 5-0. That's not what we do. But like I said, with Aisha being there, she's gonna tell Juke, look, Krystal's been missing. Like, if you can help, maybe we should try to help. Like, I know you and Krystal didn't have the best of a relationship, but we did all share a group together, and we did, basically kind of sort of form a bond. So I think Aisha may show Krystal some mercy, and Jukebox may reconsider actually speaking with Garcia. And when they put 2 and 2 together, it's possible Juke might she might end up having a meeting with Rock, right? Because keep in mind, we do get an exclusive photo. Damn, I can't tell sometimes. Of what looks like to be, looks like to be, it is Kanan, Jukebox, and Rock, right? And of course, Kanan isn't going to be happy about this, but I think Juke is doing this for the greater good. And I think it's possible that Rock might go ahead and reveal to Kanan and to Juke that Krystal came by her place, whatever date it was. Because I don't know how much time has passed, since they're currently having this meeting. But whatever the amount of time is, he's going to let her know that, hey, Krystal did come by because she was concerned about you. And more than likely, Kanan's going to think she's lying because he always thinks she's lying. So what I could see happening here is Kanan's going to kind of ignore her, not really take heed, but Juke is going to double down, possibly go ahead and tell Garcia what the information she gathered, and they ultimately are able to put 2 and 2 together, find those dirty cops, and by getting those dirty cops, they ultimately find Krystal. And who knows, maybe there's a shootout at this particular place. Maybe a shootout will take place, and Krystal, or maybe it's just they're in different rooms, and then Jukebox is able to ultimately find Krystal. Now, I could see a scenario where Juke talks to Krystal, asks her for everything she knows, and she's going to relay to Juke that is none other than Snaps and Pop that is behind this entire scheme, including Famous. So she's going to get all that information. And now that she got all that information, keep in mind, Juke is slowly but surely growing into cold-blooded Juke. And I could possibly see a scenario where she sees a golden opportunity where no one's able to stop her or to even find out that she's the one responsible for it. And she might just take a shot at Krystal herself and put her down. I could absolutely see a scenario where it plays out like this. Not saying 100% doubling down that this is it, that's what's going to happen, but hey, I could absolutely see something like this taking place. It's going to be very similar to the situation where Dre was in the trap house, well, not the trap house, in the safe house, my bad, with the federal protection, remember that? And then the Jimenez cartel attacked it, taking out everyone but Donovan and Dre himself, along with his daughter. And Dre was able to get the drop and the upper hand on Donovan, and ultimately taking him out so that he could escape. So I could see a situation where Juke takes advantage, takes out Krystal so that she can't do any more talking, because keep in mind, I think Krystal may have did some talking to Snap and Pop. So Juke is like, we're gonna put your talking days, loose lip days, we're gonna put those days to rest, and she just decides to drop her anyway. So I guess ultimately she still doesn't survive. But the task at hand that we was talking about was, will she make it away from Snap and Pop? Possibly, but either way, I think her death is absolutely inevitable. I think it's gonna happen regardless. She's not gonna be able to make it out. So, there you have it, my good and glad friends. Y'all definitely let me know up in these comments. Do you see a scenario where your girl Krystal could make it out and she don't die at all, and maybe she just leaves town? Or will she just never make it out of there alive, and Snaps and Pop takes her out? Let me know all of that and more in the comments. But like usual, if you're cool with me, fool with me, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, leave a like, comment, let me know what you're thinking. But most importantly, make sure you share it with your glad friends. But until the next video, I'm out.